Noah Franklin was a quiet boy of 12, often lost in the bustling world of his classroom. Every day, he shuffled into school, his eyes downcast, and made his way to the same spot, the back corner. This safe haven allowed him to blend in with the shadows, where he felt comfortable and invisible. While other students participated eagerly in discussions, raising their hands and sharing ideas, Noah remained silent. His classmates would chat and laugh, but Noah preferred to observe from a distance. His teacher, Ms. Tonya Griffin, always encouraged her students to express themselves. She believed that every voice mattered and that every thought was important. However, no matter how many times she invited Noah to share his thoughts or join a group project, he would simply shake his head and keep to himself. Ms. Griffin noticed his hesitation but understood that everyone has their own pace for opening up. On the rare occasions when she called on him, Noah would mumble an answer so softly that only the closest students could hear him. It seemed as though he was trapped in his own bubble of shyness, unable to break through the barrier that kept him from joining the lively conversations around him. Yet beneath this quiet exterior lay a mind filled with curiosity and ideas waiting to be discovered. Noah loved to read and often got lost in stories about brave heroes and exciting adventures. He dreamed of sharing his thoughts one day but struggled to find the courage to do so. Little did he know that a significant moment was on the horizon, one that would change everything for him and help him step out of the shadows into the light of self-expression. Ms. Tonya Griffin's classroom buzzed with energy, filled with the sounds of laughter and enthusiastic voices. Colorful posters adorned the walls, showcasing famous quotes about learning and creativity, while bookshelves overflowed with stories waiting to be read. Desks were arranged in clusters to encourage teamwork, and students often gathered in groups to discuss assignments or share ideas. Every corner of the room seemed alive, inviting students to express themselves and engage in lively discussions. Ms. Griffin had a special way of making her students feel comfortable. She would start each day with an engaging question or a fun activity that sparked their imaginations. "What superpower would you choose?" And, "If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?" were just a few of the prompts that ignited conversations among the students. They eagerly raised their hands to share their dreams, each voice adding to the vibrant atmosphere. Noah often watched these interactions from his spot in the back, admiring how his classmates shared their thoughts fearlessly. He saw how Ms. Griffin listened intently, nodding and encouraging them with her warm smile. She created an environment where every opinion mattered, making it clear that there were no wrong answers, only opportunities to learn from one another. The classroom felt like a safe haven for many students, a place where they could take risks without fear of judgment. Ms. Griffin celebrated creativity and encouraged her students to think outside the box, which inspired them to express themselves more freely. However, despite this welcoming environment, Noah still struggled to join in, feeling as though he was watching a dance from a distance rather than participating in it himself. As the days passed, Ms. Griffin remained patient and supportive, never giving up on Noah's potential to find his voice amidst the lively classroom dynamic. Little did they know that soon something would happen that might finally help him take that crucial step forward. One day, the school welcomed a very special guest, Rosa Parks, the woman known as the mother of the civil rights movement. Rosa was respected for her bravery when she refused to give up her bus seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama, a bold act that sparked change and inspired many. Her courage stood as a symbol of equality and justice, teaching people that standing up against unfair treatment is important. As she entered Ms. Griffin's classroom, the atmosphere shifted to one of excitement and admiration. Students chatted eagerly about who she was and what she had accomplished, each one feeling honored to have her there. Rosa shared stories from her life, explaining why she fought for civil rights and how important it was for everyone to have a voice. Her words resonated deeply with the students, including Noah, who absorbed every story while feeling a mixture of inspiration and anxiety. Rosa spoke about the power of expressing oneself, and how standing up for what is right can bring about extraordinary change. She encouraged students to believe in themselves and their voices, reminding them that they all had something valuable to share. The students listened intently, captivated not only by her stories but by her gentle and kind nature. Noah felt a spark of hope ignite within him as he heard her message. He admired Rosa for her strength, and wished he could have just a fraction of her confidence. Although he remained quiet during her visit, something stirred in his heart. If someone like Rosa Parks could stand up for justice in the face of adversity, perhaps he too could find the courage to express his own thoughts. This meeting would soon become a turning point in Noah's life, one that would encourage him to step out of his comfort zone and embrace his unique voice. As the classroom buzzed with excitement after Rosa Parks finished sharing her inspiring stories, she scanned the room, her warm smile lighting up her face. Her eyes landed on Noah, sitting quietly in the back corner. Sensing his shyness, she took a few steps toward him, her presence radiating kindness and understanding. "May I sit with you for a moment?" she asked gently, her voice soft yet inviting. Noah's heart skipped a beat. He could hardly believe that this legendary figure wanted to spend time with him. He nodded shyly, feeling both nervous and honored as she settled into the seat beside him. For the next 10 minutes, Rosa leaned in close, engaging Noah in a quiet conversation. She asked him about his interests and what he enjoyed doing in school. Her genuine curiosity made him feel special. It was as if the world outside faded away and only they existed in that moment. Noah found himself slowly opening up as he shared his love for reading and his dreams of adventure. Rosa listened intently, nodding along and encouraging him with every word. "You have wonderful ideas," she said with a smile. "Never be afraid to share them." Her words wrapped around him like a warm blanket, filling him with encouragement he had never felt before. In that brief exchange, something shifted within Noah. The warmth of Rosa's kindness melted away his fears, igniting a spark of confidence inside him. For the first time, he felt understood and valued. It was as if her presence gave him permission to express himself without fear of judgment. As their conversation came to an end, Rosa patted his shoulder gently and whispered, "Remember, your voice matters." With those simple words, she left an indelible mark on Noah's heart, one that would inspire him to step beyond his quiet corner and embrace the courage to speak up in class for the first time the very next day. As Rosa Parks settled beside Noah, the noise of the classroom faded into the background, creating a small world just for the two of them. She leaned in slightly, her eyes sparkling with genuine interest. "So, what do you like to do in your free time?" she asked softly. Noah hesitated for a moment, his heart racing. It was rare for someone to ask him about his interests directly. Taking a deep breath, he ventured, "I love to read," he shyly added. "Especially adventure stories." Rosa nodded encouragingly, her smile widening. "Adventure stories? That's wonderful. They take us to places we've never been and help us dream big. Do you have a favorite story or character?" Feeling a surge of warmth from her attention, Noah began to open up. He shared about his favorite book series and how he admired the brave characters who faced challenges head-on. Rosa listened intently, nodding and asking questions that made him feel important. "Bravery comes in many forms," she said thoughtfully. "Sometimes, being brave means sharing your thoughts and dreams with others." Her words struck a chord within Noah. He had always felt too shy to speak up in class. For the next few minutes, they continued to chat about dreams and aspirations. Rosa encouraged him with every word, telling him that his ideas were valuable. "Your voice is powerful, Noah," she said gently. "Don't be afraid to use it." As their conversation flowed, Noah felt an unexpected but beautiful shift inside him. He realized that Rosa saw him, not just as a quiet boy in the back corner, but as someone with dreams worth sharing. This connection filled him with hope and courage that he had never known before. When their time together came to an end, Rosa placed her hand on his shoulder and whispered, "You have so much to offer the world." As she stood up and returned to the front of the classroom, Noah felt a new lightness in his heart. He was ready to embrace his own voice. The next day, as Noah walked into Ms. Griffin's classroom, a wave of nervous excitement washed over him. He could feel the calmness that Rosa Parks had instilled in him during their conversations still lingering in his heart. No longer trapped in silence, he was determined to participate this time. When Ms. Griffin began the lesson, she encouraged students to share their thoughts on the story they had read. Noah sat up a little straighter in his desk, feeling a nervous flutter in his stomach. He remembered Rosa's words. "Your voice is powerful." Taking a deep breath, he raised his hand for the first time all year. The classroom fell silent as many of his classmates turned to look at him, their curious eyes fixed on Noah. For a brief moment, doubt crept in, but he pushed it aside and focused on the encouragement Rosa had given him. When Ms. Griffin smiled and called on him, he felt a surge of confidence. "I think the main character is brave because he never gives up," Noah said, surprising himself with how clear and steady his voice sounded. As he spoke about adventure stories and the lessons they taught him, he noticed that some of his classmates were nodding along. They seemed genuinely interested in what he was saying. With each word, Noah felt lighter and more confident. The fear that usually held him back melted away, replaced by a sense of belonging among his peers. At that moment, he realized how much he had to offer, not just to the lesson but to those around him. As class continued, Noah found himself raising his hand again and joining discussions more freely. The transformation was not just about speaking up. It was about recognizing the power of his own voice and the value of sharing it with others. Rosa Parks had unknowingly sparked a change in Noah that morning, a change that would pave the way for many more moments of courage in the future. As the sun streamed through the classroom windows, a sense of anticipation filled Ms. Griffin's classroom that morning. The air was alive with whispers and laughter as students settled into their desks, eager to begin the day. Many students were excitedly chattering about Rosa Parks' visit, and some even shared snippets of her inspiring stories that had resonated with them. Ms. Griffin noticed the excitement and felt a flutter of hope in her heart. She had always believed in Noah's potential and wondered if his transformation after meeting Rosa would spark a change in him. As she began the lesson, she glanced toward the back corner, where Noah usually sat quietly, feeling a mix of curiosity and hope for what might unfold. As Ms. Griffin encouraged everyone to share their thoughts about the day's discussion topic, she sensed the energy shift momentarily. Students eagerly raised their hands, and they exchanged glances with excitement. And then it happened. Noah raised his hand. At first, there was a moment of disbelief. His classmates exchanged surprised looks as they turned to see him. The classroom fell silent, each student holding their breath in anticipation. Ms. Griffin's heart raced with joy and encouragement as she pointed to Noah, her eyes filled with pride. "Yes, Noah," she said softly. With confidence he didn't know he had, he shared his thoughts about bravery in stories, the very topic they were discussing that day. As he spoke clearly and steadily, a buzz of excitement rippled through the room. Students nodded along, captivated by what he was saying and impressed by his newfound engagement. A smile spread across Ms. Griffin's face as she watched Noah thrive in this unexpected moment of connection with his peers. His classmates erupted into quiet applause when he finished speaking, cheering him on for stepping out of his comfort zone. Noah beamed with pride. He felt seen and acknowledged for the first time as an important member of the class. This surprise not only marked a turning point in his journey but also ignited a sense of camaraderie among the students who were rooting for him to succeed. The moment sparked something magical in the classroom, a shared experience that brought them all closer together as they celebrated Noah's brave leap into participation. After the excitement of Noah's participation settled, Ms. Tonya Griffin took a moment to reflect on the impact of Rosa Parks' visit. She sat at her desk, watching her students interact with newfound energy and enthusiasm. A warm smile crossed her face as she thought about how Rosa's stories had resonated with them all, not just Noah. Ms. Griffin had always believed in the power of encouragement and the importance of every student's voice, but seeing Rosa's effect in action filled her with a sense of pride and hope. The way Rosa spoke about standing up for what is right inspired not only Noah but also other shy students who often sat back like him. Many were now animatedly discussing their ideas and feelings that they once kept hidden. She remembered how fearful Noah had been just the day before. A boy who barely whispered answers now confidently shared his thoughts in class. That shift was magical, and it wasn't just about one student finding his voice. It was about an entire classroom awakening to the importance of self-expression. Ms. Griffin reflected on the conversations she had seen sprouting among her students since Rosa left. They were sharing, laughing, and encouraging each other more than ever before. Even during group activities, those who previously hesitated started to share their ideas freely, inspired by Noah's courageous step forward. As she looked around the room, she felt a deep sense of gratitude for Rosa Parks' visit. It reminded her that change could happen through simple acts of kindness and connection. Ms. Griffin knew that this experience would leave a lasting impression on all her students, shaping them into confident individuals who understood that their voices mattered in the world. Fueled by this hopeful energy, she vowed to continue fostering an environment where every student felt safe to express themselves, empowered by the profound example set by a true champion of courage like Rosa Parks. This moment marked not just a turning point for Noah but a beautiful beginning for all her students as they learned to embrace their unique voices together in harmony. Listening is a powerful tool that can create profound changes in people's lives, and Rosa Parks understood this well. During her visit, she had not only shared her inspirational stories but also taken the time to truly listen to Noah. This act of listening became a pivotal moment for him and exemplified how impactful understanding and empathy can be. Rosa's gentle approach made Noah feel valued and important. She didn't rush through their conversation. Instead, she engaged with him, inviting him to share his thoughts and interests. This attention allowed Noah to lower his defenses, breaking through the shyness that had kept him silent for so long. In those 10 minutes, he felt seen for the first time, not just as a boy in the back corner, but as someone with ideas worth sharing. The significance of Rosa's listening extended beyond just Noah. It created a ripple effect in Ms. Griffin's classroom. After experiencing someone like Rosa take an interest in him, Noah began to listen more actively to his classmates, eager to understand their perspectives. He recognized that everyone had stories and insights to share that were equally important. This shift marked not only a change in Noah's behavior, but also in the entire classroom dynamic. Other students, inspired by Noah's decision to engage with the class discussion, started to open up themselves. Conversations blossomed as they listened to one another and shared their own experiences. The classroom transformed into an environment where ideas flowed freely and every voice mattered, creating a sense of community that was previously missing. Ms. Griffin watched in awe as her students gradually grew more willing to express themselves. They learned that listening is a two-way street. When one person listens with genuine interest, it encourages others to share openly. Rosa Parks' simple act of sitting down and really hearing what Noah had to say sparked not just confidence within him, but also an atmosphere of respect and understanding among all the students. This lesson on the importance of listening would stay with them long after Rosa left, reminding everyone that sometimes, all someone needs is for another person to genuinely hear them. The lessons learned from Rosa Parks' visit to Ms. Griffin's classroom extended far beyond one day of inspiration. They became foundational truths that would resonate with the students for years to come. First and foremost, they discovered the power of courage, not just the courage to stand up for justice but also the courage to express oneself. Noah's journey from silence to participation illustrated that taking even a small step forward can lead to significant changes in one's life. In addition, the experience highlighted the importance of inclusion. By taking the time to listen to Noah and affirming his worth, Rosa demonstrated that everyone deserves to be heard. This lesson in valuing each person's voice cultivated an environment where all students felt safe to share their thoughts and ideas, fostering a sense of belonging within the classroom. Moreover, the ripple effect of Rosa's kindness showed how one individual's actions can make a profound difference in another's life. Her decision to sit with Noah sparked not only his confidence but also ignited a wave of encouragement among his peers. Inspired by his bravery, other students began to share their own experiences and perspectives. This collective journey towards self-expression transformed the entire classroom dynamic, creating a community where everyone supported one another. As Ms. Griffin reflected on these lessons, she understood that Rosa Parks' visit was more than just an event. It was an opportunity for growth and connection for her students. They learned that listening with empathy can lead to understanding, that courage comes in many forms, and that every voice matters. These powerful insights would stay with them long after Rosa left, reminding them that they could be advocates for themselves and others. In looking forward, Ms. Griffin vowed to nurture this newfound spirit of openness and acceptance in her classroom. She knew that by encouraging her students to embrace their unique voices, she was helping them become not just better classmates, but also compassionate individuals ready to face the world with courage and kindness.